Let me just tell you about the National Church Life Survey. This is a project that has been a collaboration over 30 years now, 20 denominations, hundreds of thousands of church attenders over 30 years have told us their experience of local church life. I'm going to tell you about the state of the church in Australia. I'm feeling very conflicted at the moment. I am wallowing in data. What I see in 2021-22 is a picture of a church that when you ask them how you're going, are you growing in your faith? Do you have a sense of belonging? Are you reaching out? Are you committed to the future? Are you committed to the vision of your church? All the rest of it. People in church love church. It is a fantastically positive story. They love church. And yet, and I'm going to tell that honest, truthful story. And yet, what I also see from our community surveys, from our young people, from those from migrant ethnic communities who are part of in our midst, I see another story, and I have to do the truth-telling about that story as well. And that story is that the gap between church and community is getting greater. Women more religious than men. That's always been the case. It'll continue to be the case. Young people. I said 30 years ago that people under 30s were missing from the churches. I'm now saying people under 60 are missing from the churches. We have an incredibly ageing church. Church attenders, incredibly highly educated. 44% have university degrees. We have got this growing gap from ordinary Australians and our highly educated church leaders and church attenders. We are missing people in so many. It's not just young people anymore. It's past that. There is this incredible challenge, and what I also see, we have brilliantly a multicultural church. In fact, one of the most multicultural nations, one of the most multicultural churches. This is the gift to Australia, is that we are highly multicultural. And if we embrace that, that's good. But what I see in church is a turning inward, particularly because of the pandemic. I see a turning inward, a fearfulness, a loss of confidence. I love my church. I love it. But what I'm seeing is people less likely to invite their friends, people less likely to speak about faith, people less likely to engage. You know what? The majority of Australians say, I don't even know someone who goes to church. So I see this loss of confidence, this loss of missional capacity and drive. We have lost it. And you know what we're doing? We are turning in and we are building walls. We are making it harder and harder for the community to actually connect with us. You know, newcomers to church life without a church background, you know what they tell us? They tell us that they belong before they believe. They come in slowly. And I guess my plea is, if you as creatives, as people with a microphone, can share the story to say we need fuzzy boundaries in churches. We need a strong centre, but it is not a time to turn in and build up walls and make it harder. You know, you're in or you're out. We need long, soft edges to our churches. So that's my little extra, not on the program, blurb to you, but that's what's going on in church life today. It's a tough time. Not surprising with what's happened over the last few years and decades, but we are reaping what we sowed in the 60s when we didn't attend to social culture, the changes in society, and we said, those young people, they'll be back. Those young baby boomer, ragamuffins, they'll be back when they have their kids. They didn't come back. And now we are reaping this erosion that is happening, and we have to somehow have the courage to actually reach out. So bless you as you do your work, but it's a tough time. Those inside love it, and there's something so beautiful and wonderful, and the more I work with churches, the more I'm convicted that Jesus was so onto something when he said, I'm going to build my church and I want you to be the church, and all of you, you're part of the church, do my thing. And that message is it is so critical, it is such a gift to Australian society now, but boy oh boy, do we have to actually remember what Jesus actually called us to do. Go, make disciples. Love God, love your neighbour. And we're not loving as well as we should because the gap is growing.